Listen carefully. What I'm about to reveal is not a story, it's a warning. From January 10th to the 15th, certain cities will be overtaken by dark spiritual forces, forces that feed on fear, doubt, and weakness. If you are in these areas, staying even a single day could invite curses, blockages, and spiritual attacks into your life. This is your wake-up call. Today, I will tell you how to protect yourself, recognize the signs, and escape before it's too late. Your life, your health, and your destiny depend on it. Pay close attention. You must understand something very important. Not all cities, not all streets are created equal when it comes to spiritual danger. There are places where negative energies gather, and during certain times, those energies become concentrated, almost tangible. From January 10th to the 15th, these cities will be like magnets for witchcraft, pulling in curses, manipulations, and dark intentions like iron to a flame. And if you are there, if you linger without awareness, you are inviting trouble that will follow you long after you leave. So how do you identify these hotspots? The first clue is the atmosphere itself. You may feel it without understanding it at first. A heaviness in the air, an unusual tension among people, or even a sense of unease that doesn't have a clear source. Sometimes it manifests as constant minor accidents, sudden arguments, or inexplicable fear that seems to grip your chest. These are not coincidences. They are the spiritual fingerprints of manipulation and witchcraft trying to take root in your environment. Another way to recognize these areas is through patterns in people's lives around you. Notice businesses or homes where failure seems persistent, relationships are constantly strained, or unexplained illnesses appear repeatedly. These are signs that the place itself has become a breeding ground for negative forces. You might even feel drained after being in certain neighborhoods, as if your energy is being pulled out from you slowly, subtly. The danger here is that it doesn't hit like a storm. It creeps, it lingers, and it grows stronger with time. Technology and social patterns can also provide clues. Areas with a concentration of fraudulent activity, widespread envy, or malicious gossip are often aligned with spiritual disturbances. Energy follows intention. Where people sow negativity, it accumulates in the unseen realm, and during critical periods like January 10 to 15, these accumulations become concentrated and hazardous. The key is awareness, but not just passive awareness. You must read the environment actively. Walk with your senses open. Notice how the air feels, how people react around you, and how your own energy responds. If you feel unease, do not dismiss it. The spiritual realm communicates in whispers and subtle feelings before it escalates into visible consequences. Recognize these signs early, and you can make decisions that protect your life, your health, and your destiny. If you are in one of these cities during this period, understand that it is not about fear. It is about vigilance. You must act, observe, sense, and take steps to distance yourself from areas that attract dark energy. Doing nothing is not neutral. In these moments, inaction is a choice that has consequences. The sooner you learn to recognize these spiritual hotspots, the sooner you can safeguard yourself and your loved ones from the harm that could follow if you remain unaware. Once you can identify the places where witchcraft gathers, the next step is understanding the signs of spiritual infestation. This is crucial because the danger is rarely obvious at first. Dark energy does not announce itself with a headline. It creeps in slowly, subtly, until your life begins to feel off balance, heavy, and constantly blocked. You may notice things happening repeatedly, small accidents, constant arguments, unexplained financial losses, or relationships that suddenly sour for no clear reason. These are not coincidences. They are the footprints of spiritual forces at work, testing you, weakening your defenses, and preparing a path for curses to take hold. Another sign comes from your own physical and emotional state. Perhaps you feel drained after visiting certain areas, even if you have done nothing strenuous. Maybe your mind feels foggy, your sleep restless, or you wake up with unexplained aches. These are signals that negative energy is attaching itself to you. Witchcraft thrives on distraction, exhaustion, and fear, and it will exploit anything that lowers your natural defenses. You might find yourself overreacting to small frustrations, feeling unusually anxious, or losing focus on your goals. These are not just emotional fluctuations, they are warnings. Even your surroundings can reveal infestation. Look at the patterns around you. Businesses failing mysteriously, neighbors constantly quarreling, or a sudden rise in thefts and deceit are all indicators that the area is spiritually compromised. You may also notice unusual natural occurrences, repeated storms in a short period, sudden cold drafts indoors, or animals acting strangely. In the spiritual realm, energy manifests in ways you can sense if you are attentive. Pay attention to dreams as well. Recurring nightmares or disturbing visions can be a sign that spiritual forces are trying to communicate with you, either to warn you or to weaken your mind. Witchcraft often operates through subtle manipulations, and dreams are one of the easiest ways to target a person's subconscious, planting fear or confusion. The danger is amplified during critical periods like January 10 to 15. At this time, the alignment of energy strengthens the potency of witchcraft, meaning even small signs should not be ignored. Recognizing these signs early is not about paranoia. It is about protection and survival. Your spiritual senses are your early warning system, and ignoring them is like ignoring a smoke alarm while the fire quietly spreads. You must learn to trust your intuition, observe carefully, and act decisively. If something feels wrong, it is wrong. If patterns repeat and you feel drained, do not dismiss it as coincidence. These signs are speaking to you, guiding you to take action before the situation escalates beyond control. The sooner you recognize the warning signs, the sooner you can take steps to shield yourself, cleanse your energy, and, if necessary, remove yourself from danger entirely. Awareness is your first line of defense. Never underestimate it. Timing is everything. You may think that being aware of dangerous areas or recognizing the signs is enough, but the truth is, there are moments when the spiritual climate is especially dangerous, and nothing will protect you if you ignore them. From January 10th to the 15th, the energies in certain cities align in ways that amplify witchcraft and spiritual attacks. What might be a minor disturbance on an ordinary day becomes a powerful invisible force capable of disrupting your health, relationships, and finances. This is not a superstition. It is the natural law of energy. Every season, every day, every hour carries a vibration. When dark intentions converge in the right timing, they multiply their effect, like a spark hitting dry tinder. During these days, you must be alert to the subtle accelerations of misfortune. You may notice tensions rising faster than usual, small mistakes becoming catastrophic, or negative emotions spreading more easily among people. These are not coincidences. Dark spiritual forces are at work, taking advantage of this alignment to weaken defenses, trap energies, and spread chaos. Even if you feel protected, even if you have prayed or taken spiritual precautions, being in the wrong place at the wrong time can compromise your safety. Timing is the difference between survival and exposure. This is why movement and decisions must be deliberate. If you are aware that a city or area is a hotspot for spiritual infestation, you cannot wait until the last moment to act. Preparing your exit, strengthening your protection, and choosing the safest times to move are all part of the strategy. The wrong hour can make the difference between leaving safely and inviting curses to follow you. Spiritual forces are clever. They exploit hesitation, indecision, and doubt. When timing is ignored, even a strong person can become vulnerable. You must also understand that timing affects your spiritual defense. Prayers, protective rituals, and cleansing actions are not equally powerful at all times. Aligning your spiritual actions with the right moment amplifies their effect. Conversely, performing them carelessly or when energies are heightened for darkness may reduce their impact. This is why knowing the exact window, January 10th to 15th, is crucial, not just for awareness, but for action, for planning, for survival. Finally, timing is also about listening to your intuition. Often, your subconscious will sense danger before your conscious mind does. Pay attention to feelings of urgency, unease, or hesitation. These are the inner alarms telling you that the moment to act is now. Ignoring them is the fastest way to fall victim to the unseen forces around you. The period from January 10th to 15th is not ordinary. It is a time when the spiritual currents are charged, when small mistakes can have amplified consequences, and when inaction can cost more than you realize. Being aware is not enough. You must act with precision, decisiveness, and urgency. When we talk about danger, awareness alone is not enough. Awareness will alert you, it will guide you, but it does not stop the forces that are ready to attack. Protection is not optional, it is necessary. You must understand that spiritual danger is real and it can be prevented if you take the right actions. There are simple, practical practices that, when done correctly, create a shield around your life, your home, and your spirit. These practices are not about superstition. They are about alignment with higher energy, about creating a barrier that darkness cannot easily penetrate. One of the most powerful tools is prayer. Prayer is not just words. It is energy in motion, a declaration that you will not be a target for manipulation or harm. When you speak with authority, with faith, and with clarity, you establish a spiritual boundary. Combine this with visualization. Imagine a light surrounding you, filling every corner of your home, every room, every pathway. This is not imagination, it is preparation. You are literally raising your energy to a level that dark forces cannot reach. Salt is another tool that is simple yet incredibly effective. Placing salt around doors, windows, and the corners of rooms creates a protective boundary. It absorbs negative energy and prevents malicious forces from settling in. You may also carry a small pouch of salt with you, especially if you must travel during dangerous days. It acts as a constant reminder, a spiritual buffer that strengthens your personal energy. Sacred oils and spiritual objects are not magic. They are amplifiers of intention and focus. When anointing your body, your home, or your belongings with these oils, you are signaling to the unseen world that your space is protected, that you will not tolerate negative influence. Objects like crystals, blessed items, or symbolic talismans serve a similar purpose. They act as anchors for your energy, reinforcing your defenses even when you are tired, distracted, or in an environment charged with negativity. But protection is not just about objects. It is about rituals of cleansing, smudging with smoke, ringing bells, or performing simple energy-clearing actions. Daily removes residual negativity before it has a chance to accumulate. Think of it as cleaning a house. If dirt is left to gather, it becomes harder to remove. Negative energy behaves the same way. A space that is not regularly cleared allows dark energy to gain strength and influence. During these critical days, every precaution matters. The combination of prayer, salt, oils, and cleansing creates a multi-layered barrier that darkness finds difficult to penetrate. These actions are not complicated, but they must be done consistently with focus and faith. The moment you think, "I'll skip this today," is the moment weakness creeps in. And you cannot afford weakness when the energies of witchcraft are so strong. Protection is your first active defense. Awareness tells you where the danger is, but protection tells the danger to stop at your boundary, to turn away, to leave you unharmed. You cannot leave this step incomplete. It is your shield, your sword, and your lifeline during the days when darkness seeks to strike. Knowing that a city or neighborhood is dangerous is not enough. Awareness and protection only go so far. There comes a time when the only true safety is to leave, to physically remove yourself from the epicenter of dark spiritual energy. But leaving is not as simple as packing your bags. There is a spiritual dimension to relocation, and if you ignore it, you could carry the danger with you instead of leaving it behind. Every step you take, every item you move, and every thought you hold can either break the attachment or strengthen it. And this is why careful preparation is crucial. The first rule is to cut energetic ties before you move. This means consciously releasing any attachments to the place, your fears, frustrations, and even your routines. Often, people carry emotional and spiritual connections to locations without realizing it. These ties are what witchcraft clings to. A mental declaration, a prayer, or a ritual of detachment signals to the universe that you are leaving the area and taking only your positive energy with you. This is the first layer of protection, and one of the most important. Next, your personal items matter more than you think. Avoid moving things that have absorbed negative energy. Clothes, furniture, or personal objects that carry constant stress, arguments, or sickness may transfer those energies into your new environment. Cleanse these items first with prayer, salt, or smoke. This is not a suggestion, it is a necessity. Carrying contaminated energy into a new space defeats the purpose of leaving and can make your escape futile. Timing your departure is just as critical. There are hours when spiritual energy is strongest, and traveling during those hours without protection can make you a magnet for negative forces. Observe your intuition and the subtle cues of your environment. If the air feels heavier, if unease grows stronger, or if dreams warn you, these are signals that you must move immediately. Hesitation can cost you your peace, your health, and even your safety. During relocation, continue your protection practices. Salt, prayer, and sacred oils should accompany you, creating a moving shield that travels with your energy. Your body is your vessel, and your spirit must remain intact. This is not the time for shortcuts or half measures. Darkness will test your resolve in transit, and only a strong, intentional shield will carry you safely to your destination. Finally, when you arrive, do not assume the danger ends the moment you step out of the city. Take time to cleanse yourself, your vehicle and your new space. Establish boundaries immediately. Protect the space energetically with the same diligence you used before leaving. Remember, leaving is only the beginning of the process. How you settle and restore your energy determines whether the dark forces can follow you or are left behind where they belong. Escaping a witchcraft-infested city requires more than movement. It requires intention, protection, and vigilance. Done correctly, you leave the danger behind. Done carelessly, you invite it to follow, even after you have left a dangerous city, even after you have physically removed yourself from a place thick with witchcraft. The work is far from over. Many people make the mistake of thinking that leaving the area is enough to escape harm, but spiritual energy does not respect physical distance unless it is consciously cleansed. Negative attachments, curses, and residual influences can linger long after you think the danger is behind you. Restoration is not optional. It is essential for reclaiming your peace, your power, and your destiny. The first step in restoration is cleansing your energy completely. This is more than taking a shower or changing clothes. It is a deliberate, focused act of spiritual detoxification. Prayer, meditation, and visualization should be used to sweep away any remnants of negativity that may have clung to your body, mind, or spirit. Imagine a bright, cleansing light entering every cell, every thought, every intention, and pushing out anything that does not belong to you. This is how you break the invisible chains that might otherwise follow you even into a new home. Next, pay attention to your personal space. Your home must be energetically restored to a place of safety, comfort, and positive energy. Use salt, sacred oils, or cleansing rituals to clear every corner, every room, and every entryway. Even objects you brought with you need this treatment. Residual energy from the city you left can attach itself to belongings, subtly influencing your thoughts, emotions, and decisions. Cleansing your space is not just about protection, it is about creating an environment where your energy can thrive without interference. Your mind and emotions must also be restored. Exposure to dark spiritual forces can leave subtle imprints: doubt, fear, fatigue, or inexplicable anxiety. It is essential to reset your inner state. Journaling, affirmations, and conscious focus on your goals help replace the negative imprints with clarity, confidence, and purpose. You are not merely surviving, you are reclaiming control over your life. Community and support can amplify this restoration. Surround yourself with people, mentors, and spiritual guides who uplift your energy and reinforce your protection. Isolation can make recovery slower because energy is reinforced through connection, prayer, and shared strength. Let your presence among positive forces accelerate your recovery and shield you from lingering darkness. Finally, restoration is also about intention. Every action you take, every thought you entertain, every decision you make should now be aligned with your spiritual priorities. This alignment strengthens your aura, fortifies your protection, and ensures that the forces you have left behind do not regain influence. Restoration is not passive, it is active, deliberate, and continuous. It is the final step in escaping a witchcraft-infested city, and it ensures that you emerge not just safe, but stronger, wiser, and spiritually fortified. The work does not end when you leave, it begins there. Without restoration, your escape is incomplete, and the danger can linger silently. Take the time to cleanse, protect, and rebuild, because your life, your health, and your destiny depend on it.